Alright, so boys and girls, what we're learning about today are sales tax, tips, and markup. In particular, we're learning how to find the total when we add sales tax, tips, and a markup to a price. First of all, tax. Tax is an additional amount you pay on something. That money goes to the government, pays for things like roads, salaries for firefighters, policemen, things like that. Tips. Tip is additional money that you pay on a service for somebody doing a good job. So if you go to a restaurant, they might say that the bill comes out to $20, but you leave $25. That extra $5 goes to your waiter or waitress for doing a good job. It's like a thank you. Markup. Markup you can think of as the amount of profit a store makes. So for example, if you own a video game store, you might buy the video game for $40, but when you put it on the shelf, you put it on the shelf for $60. That difference, that $20 difference, that's your markup. That's what you make. Now the way you find this using percents is all the same, and we'll go through it step by step. To find the total with tax or tip, and also you'd find the total price with markup the same way. Step 1, you'll take the price or cost and you'll multiply it by the percent that you're using, the percent for sales tax or tips or markup. That's going to equal your tip or tax or markup. Step 2, you're going to add that tip or tax or markup to the original price or cost, and that's going to equal the total. So original price or cost times the percent, and whatever that equals, you're going to add that to the original price or cost. That'll give you the total. So now let's do some examples. Let's do an example with tax. Just tax. Suppose you wanted to purchase a video game and the game was $60. And let's say the tax is 6%. To find the total, first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the cost of the game and you're going to multiply by the tax. And when you do this, you're going to multiply with this percent written as a decimal, which is going to be 0.06. Now, in case you don't know how to do that, what you do is you take the percent, and to make any percent into a decimal, all you do is you move the existing decimal point over 2 spots to the left. Always 2 spots to the left, no matter what. When you do that, you end up getting 0.06. I had to fill in a missing 0 that was right there. Now there's another way you can do this if that doesn't make sense to you. We remember we can always write percents as a number over what?
100.
One more time, class. Percent.
100.
Good. So 6 over 100. Go ahead and type that in your calculator, boys and girls. 6 divided by 100. And look at that. We end up getting 0.06, which is the same number we get if we move the decimal twice to the left. I don't care which method you use, although eventually I want you to try and start using this. It's quicker. Back to the question. Game times the tax, that percent written as a decimal. So we have 60 times 0.06, and we end up with 3.6. To make this into a proper price, we're going to add a 0 to the end of this. That means $3.60. Now, this is not the total cost of the game. This is the cost of the tax that you're going to pay, in addition to the price of the game. So step 2, again, we take the price of the game. Now we're going to add our tax, the dollar amount, and that's going to give us our total that we're going to pay at the register, which is $63.60. So again, cost of the game times the percent tax written as a decimal. That gives us our tax amount. Now, cost of the game plus that tax amount gives us our total that we pay at the register. Let's do another example. This time we're going to do one involving tip. So, suppose you go to a place to get something to eat. Let's say you go to Red Robin. Get yourself a yummy veggie burger. Let's say that's $9.
I'm hungry now.
And then you're going to get yourself a Monster Shake, milkshake. And let's say that's $5. So, the total you're going to spend on food is going to be $14. And let's say that you really liked your waiter or waitress and you want to leave a 20% tip.
A big one.
So,
For real.
step 1, you've got the cost of your food, which is $14, plus 20% tip. As a decimal, remember, move it 2 spots to the left, so it becomes 0.20 or 0.2. And when we multiply this in our calculators, 14 times 0.20, 2.8. Add an extra 0 to make that look like a normal price. That means we're going to spend $2.80 on the tip. Part 2 of this, because we still have to pay for our food, not just our tip. So you're going to have your $14 for food, plus your $2.80 for your tip. When you total that together, you end up with $16.80. Last example I'll do is, let's say, and this will be a combination of tax and tip. Let's say you purchased a TV, maybe at Best Buy. Let's say your TV was $1,000.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
And the tax, let's say, is 6%. And your tip, let's say, is 15%. Tax and tip together, 6 plus 15 is going to be 21, so you have an additional 21% you're spending. So, for step 1, $1,000 for the TV, times the 21% written as a decimal, 0.21. That means that you are going to spend an additional $210. Step 2, add it all together. So you have $1,000 for the TV, plus your $210, which covers your tax and your tip. That means your total cost $1,210. We'll do one more example. Very last one, markup. Markup. Markup is when a store buys something and sells it for a higher percent to make profit.
Oh.
So let's say a store buys something, I don't know, let's say they buy a video game, and it costs them $56. And they want to mark up the price, they want to increase the price by 25%. They want to make 25% profit. So, step 1, the cost of the game was $56. They're going to multiply it by the markup percent written as a decimal, which is 0.25. That's going to give them a markup
12.5.
of 14. And now they're going to add the cost of the game plus the markup amount, and when they add that together, they're going to get $70. So that's the price they're going to put the game on the shelf for. Also, one thing to be careful about, tip also has another name, gratuity.
What?
It's not common, people don't use that word anymore, but if you hear gratuity, they mean tip. So tip and gratuity, the same thing. And that is sales tax, tip, and markup.